It's recording. Right, can it see if you're up here? Nothing. Yeah?
Is it like a video?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's a wee video thing. I wonder if
Be careful what I see.
Yeah, no, you're fine. Perfectly honest. Right. Oh, good grief.
Just too low.
I think it's just too low. I think it can. It can see us now. Right. That'll do. This is my video for my certificate L&D. We're going to go through Jeanette's SPQ. Jeanette didn't make it to the last meeting. Were you on holiday?
Yes.
You were on holiday last time.
Yes.
So we're going to go through the award, what's expected of you, what do you expect of me, plan for looking at finishing that. So
I just want it finished.
I know.
It's
It's been ages, isn't it? I know. Alright. I have all of your work here looked out for you.
right.
I also have my laptop hooked up so we can have a look at that as well and how far along you've got.
Right.
Do you have anything there that you did for the previous assessor and didn't quite get it handed in? Or?
Yeah, I think the day before I was due to meet her, I got the message that she'd left.
Okay.
So I was like, okay.
Oh dear.
I've already had a certificate saying that I've passed.
Yeah, that was
And
for
then-
your EDI. Mm-hmm.
So is this all? Am I having to start again or
No. In your award, you have the previous assessor observed you communicating with someone. She observed you preparing and serving food and drink. She observed a lot of your health and safety. You did a reflective account for an accident and emergency. And she observed you moving and handling. Right.
She says there was just a couple of things we still had to do.
Right.
That
Which is
I
right.
had to do my maths thing, which
Yeah.
I'm hopeless at maths.
It's fine.
So,
It's fine.
my daughter signed it. Don't know why she signed it her name.
It's fine. That's perfect. Right. What we're looking at in your award, you're already a good bit through it. You're sitting away up at 70%.
Right.
So what I did was I went through all your awards when you were passed to me. And everyone assesses differently. Like your previous assessor, these are your old mappings. And I'll show you what's updated on the system when we're finished. Like she's only claimed a 5 here for that observation. I would claim a 9 and it would disappear. Because it's an observation and you have reflective accounting here.
Right.
So for every unit, you have communications 1 unit, health and safety is your 2nd, developing yourself, like your knowledge, your practice. Your 4th unit is about how you work with your service users, your colleagues, all that sorts of things. And your 2 optional units, which you've already got a great deal of work towards, was providing, serving food and drink, and your 2nd one was moving and handling. So because all your observations are in, I don't need to come out and follow you around when you're with service users. That's not needed anymore. Well, all that's needed is wee bits of work from yourself. Now what I've done is, I've moved all of these up. Where there's only a 5, I've moved them up so they've disappeared.
Right.
So your file is more complete than it looks here.
Right, okay.
What it means is, the likes of your food and drink, all of this is knowledge. There's no knowledge claimed at all. So although you've done a wee story, we call them reflective accounts, about preparing, serving, clearing away food and drink, none of the knowledge has been covered. So what you will need to go away and do is do me a story about legal and organisational requirements and equality, diversity and discrimination and rights for preparing, serving and clearing away food and drink. Now that looks quite scary to yourselves. However, all it's asking is that you write a wee paragraph saying, I've worked for Care Watch for say
3 years.
3 years. I've completed my food hygiene training. I use this in my practice. This meets the Food Safety Act 1990 and the Health and Safety at Work Act 1974.
Right.
When I'm working with my service users, I check the care plan and make sure that I meet their dietary requirements, i.e. if someone's diabetic, you do not give them a Galaxy bar.
I started doing an assessment,
Right.
and I don't know if that's what it's for.
That'll be what I did
I stopped it
Yeah.
when I found out that she had left because he's a diabetic.
Yeah.
And it was about making sure that we're encouraging him to eat healthy, and
Yeah.
even though he doesn't want to eat healthy,
Yeah.
he has to eat healthy.
Yeah.
So I've had a rant in that, and I don't know if that's
That'll be
what
great.
that is.
Yeah, that is exactly what that is. Your knowledge points go.
I haven't wrote in about the legal requirements or anything like
Right,
that.
we
though.
can add them in. That's not a problem. This don't be wasting this. We can add in your legislation further through. How your own values relate to hygiene might be different. You've maybe went in and say, I've been in before you, and you've kind of thought, good grief, she's not cleaned down the worktops and there's crumbs everywhere. And you phone and report it. Like, I'm sorry, I don't know who was in here before me. This is what I'm looking at the daily care notes. It was Ashley who was in during his breakfast. This is what I found. You know, I'm not saying it was Ashley. However, can you check for me? I don't have the authority to do these things. But for cross-contamination, blah, 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 it's not meeting health and safety. Can you make sure this doesn't happen again? Because if Sandy gets off his chair and makes himself a bit of toast, I don't know what kind of bacteria he's going to pick up.
Right.
So that's what that bit's about. And you're right, it goes through it, you know, you have to write a wee bit, you know, where you've said his care plan says he's diabetic. I asked Sandy if I could access his records. This is data protection 1998. I have to have his permission.
Right, I think that's what I was to do, but I haven't finished it. Because it was like the codes of practice, dispose of stale food and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's what that is, but I haven't finished it.
Right. What to do is go through what you've got already and check off. I'll give you this. This is your unit 213. This is a unit spec. I don't know if you were given these.
Is that what these things are? Yeah.
Yes. Right. If you use this, and it's your knowledge only that you're covering, and just go through, if you've got a bit, tick it off. If you think you've met it, tick it off on here, because this is yours, you can do what you want with it, and put in your legislation at the bottom. You know, as I said, access to care plan, I did ask for his permission because it's data protection. Recording and confidentiality policy for Care Watch.
Right.
That's all the notes you've got already. Healthy living and eating, the government's 5-a-day initiative.
I don't know if you're better reading it first and seeing if that's what because going by this, it's like provide food that follows the care plan. I haven't written in, I don't think that I've checked care plan, but did I add that at the end, or
Yeah,
am I
you can
better
add it in
redoing it?
anywhere. Add it in absolutely anywhere.
Right,
Do
okay.
you use email, or do you just write?
Right, I'm not
Right.
technical.
That's alright, that's alright. The email's a lot easier just because of distance. I am north of Aberdeen, which it hasn't caused problems out so far with everyone else. What folk are doing is posting it to me.
Right.
It just means that if there's wee bits that I think, oh gosh, Jeanette, you need to sort of add a wee bit more in, you need a wee bit, I have to post it back to you.
Right.
Or, you know, I could phone you up and say, Ken, could you maybe hop down to the office and ask him to send a wee email and just, you know.
I mean, I can use email. I've got a laptop and that at home, so would I like just print that out in an email?
Just type it on an email and
And
I'll copy and paste it across onto these forms for you.
Right, okay.
If you want.
Right,
Makes
okay.
life a lot easier. You'll get through it quicker.
Right.
I mean, you know, it's entirely your choice.
I can do that.
But if
I
you
can do
think
that, yeah.
it's easier.
I mean, I know how to write an email, I
Aye.
just don't like using computers. Because at least then I can add it,
You can.
I can
Aye.
retweak it myself
Aye.
before you take it away, and then
Aye.
add in check care plan and stuff like that first.
Excellent. So are you alright with that? If
Yeah.
you go through all of these, because none of your knowledge points, right through to 25, there's none of them claimed in your award at all. Everyone assesses differently, as I said, but
Is that the H213, is that right?
yeah, that's right. Just the knowledge. So this page and this page. Right.
Right. I'll go through all that and rewrite it.
Just type it up. Right, I'll give you this.
Okay. What to do is write your email address on it.
What I'll do is I'll get my email address
On
on your
that.
assessment plan
Right.
and I'll copy it and you'll get it till we with you.
Right, okay. I'll give you that.
Right. Right, so how long do you think you'll need to do that reflective account for me?
Saturday.
Right, okay. Let's look at my diary. Right, I'll give you my phone number. If you are stuck
Is
at
that what you
all,
text me on this morning?
yeah,
I saved it on my phone.
phone me. I'm here to help. I'm on holiday on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
I have my phone with me, but I have my niece. So if you didn't get me, leave a message. Once she's in bed, I'll get her phone back.
Right, that's fine.
Okay.
That's fine.
And I'm on holiday on Monday as well.
Right.
However, as I say, I'm just at home because
Okay.
my sister's away for the weekend.
Right, okay.
It might be a little noisy, however, I'm sure you'll understand if you have wee ones of your own.
I've got kids myself.
Right.
Not so wee anymore though.
No. I suppose it's a key thing about care. You can sort of work your shifts round about.
Mm-hmm. Oh, my oldest is 15 and a half. My youngest is 11 and a bit. So, my youngest leaves primary next week, so to high school after the summer.
It's nice to get past the baby stage,
Mm-hmm.
isn't it? I mean, she's a toddler now. She's 3 going on 30. And she
And
tells you
everything.
what you're doing in the
Uh-huh.
morning.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, get up, I want my breakfast. We are going here, we are doing this and we're doing this. And then she'll say halfway through the where is my mum? And I'll say, your mum is at work, so what will we do now? How long till she's home?
Mm-hmm.
And I'll say, maybe 2 hours? Oh, that's a long time. Let's go play in the swings, you know. Doesn't faze her. Doesn't faze her. But no, they're lovely at that age. They're quite funny.
Mm.
Right. Same again for Unit 2. Is our health and safety unit. I'll give you these away with you. There's points here. How to provide active support and promote the individual's rights and choices whilst ensuring health and safety when dealing with emergencies. That is basically asking you, when you find someone on the floor, you phone 999, paramedics come to pick them up because of course you're not, you're not allowed. Health and safety at work 74, moving and handling policy for care watch. Sorry, Kenji, I can't pick you off the floor, you know, can you get up, she's in chair? No, ambulance. That's saying that you make sure when they come in, and you know how sometimes they can be quite impersonal, at times, and they're just whoosh, on a chair, into the back of the ambulance and away they go. There's not, do you want to go to hospital? They're not providing equality, they're discriminating against our service users. There seems to be an assumption at times that these people cannot talk. Okay, it's like
they speak to us before they speak to them.
So that's all that's asking is that, you know, you're able to say that when I was working with such and she fell over, the ambulance crew went to talk to me and completely ignore my service user, but I was promoting equality and inclusion and ensuring there was no discrimination while I was there. And she was given a choice. So that's what these are about, and that you understand the SSC codes of practice. If you go into, you can take that one away with you if you want.
I don't know if I've got one of them.
And you can take one of them. And that tells you that section 6 of that for yourself, you're accountable for your work, and the health and safety at work actually says you are responsible for yourself and others while you're at work. You know, different if Margaret sent you out to do something like use a hoist and you've never been trained, you have a responsibility to say, I'm not doing that, haven't been trained, I don't know what to do with it. Phone the office, you better send someone out here that knows how.
Show us how to
I'm
do
not
it
taking the risk. But they've also a responsibility to say to you, do you know, before we send you to Mrs. You know, Tom down the street, did you ever do your moving and handling? Have you ever used a hoist before? So it's a two-way thing. And it's just a wee paragraph saying that you understand because of the codes of practice and because of the law that you're accountable as well. You know, you're just going to point a
we
finger
can't
at
pass
care
it back
watch.
to the office.
If you use the hoist and a woman falls out of the sling and she breaks her legs, you're going to be charged in court as well as them. You know, it's just an understanding, showing an understanding of that. So that's what that's about. Again, your data protection and completing records, that is you saying that, you know, you understand. I'll write these down for you. Your data protection is that you understand their specific forms for accidents and emergencies, and why you fill them out. You know, it's so that it's reported back to the HSE. It means that the care inspectorate can sort of evaluate how this franchise is doing. Does there concerns, are the staff undertrained? Is there something going on here? Or should these service users really be in permanent care and not in the community? Should they be in a nursing home? Because there seems to be the same accidents happening. And also, you put in there that, I understand I have to fill out incident and accident forms, because when it comes to review, these are used.
Yeah. To see how able the person is to
Yeah.
stay at home. Yeah.
It's saying, her mobility's really failed in the past 6 months. In the past 2 months, she's had 8 falls. Is there something we can do? Can we get the OT in, or do we need to get everyone together in the family and the service user and say, listen, do you feel you're coping? Do you not think you'd be better in sheltered accommodation where you've got a wee buzzer if you need anything?
Yeah.
So that's what it's saying. Responsibility for keeping yourself and others safe. Well, that's what we spoke about. The Health and Safety Act. That'll be covered when you put that bit. Use and storage of hazardous and non-hazardous substances and equipment. Any ideas?
Like bleach and stuff.
Yeah. That is what they call COSH. And it's part of your Health and Safety Act.
Okay.
So when you open your handbook, there's a wee bit about health and safety and there's a bit about COSH, and all you're really saying there is that you wouldn't put Ashley's bleach in her bread bin with her loaf, because it's going to contaminate the loaf and it's going to make her ill, and then I'm going to lose my job.
Yeah.
And that's basically saying you understand that. Infection control, that's about your PPE equipment, your aprons, your gloves, your hand washing procedure. I have a wee hand washing, the 12 steps. When you send it to me, I'll put a wee bit of seat insert. So when you've said I've washed my hands using antibacterial soap, dried and put on my aprons and gloves, I put seat insert and I add this in for you.
Right, okay.
Makes life easy, because before you explain the 12 steps of your fingers, back to your hands, up to your elbows, rinsing, you've used about 2 pages and it's needless.
Yeah.
When you are doing it all anyway, we all should eat. So, and that's Health and Safety Act again. Access information, that's your care plan for health and safety. Use and store equipment, a little bit about, did you domestic? Washing floors or anything?
I used to, don't anymore.
Okay.
So did I put all this just on
Just do
an
paragraphs.
email?
Yeah,
Paragraph
on an email,
Okay.
paragraphs, and that'll be fine. Food Safety Act, 90. This can come in when you're telling me about your moving and handling. There's a bit about how to move and handle objects and people safety. That'll cover that. Types of PPE will self-explanatory.
Yeah.
Aspects of your own hygiene, that's where you say, I follow these guidelines for the Food Safety Act and for hygiene, to prevent cross-contamination. Because I maybe worked with 6 people this morning, and I'm coming in with my overall, I'm washing my hands, but that's why I put an apron on, it creates a barrier. So that's where you put that. Alright. Risks and hazards, that's self-explanatory. And then different kinds of emergency, that's self-explanatory. So that's Unit 2, basically. So what do you think, another week at the back of that? The back of your first one?
Yeah.
If you can't manage your week, phone me up and say to me, I'm maybe going to need till Wednesday or whatever. Okay, don't I feel like these dates are set in stone? If something happens, phone me up, just let me know.
My daughter does a lot of training, athletics and competitions and stuff, so I've got a big one on at the weekend, so it's trying to fit it all in.
I know.
We're up at Oban on Sunday, so.
Oh, are you? Be nice.
She does the Highland Games when she's not doing track stuff, so we're up there on Sunday.
Right. Same again for moving and handling. All knowledge. I don't know why you don't have knowledge cross-referenced in, but for some reason you don't. So as you can see, all the ones with, and it's the same, beliefs and preferences that may have on the the effect, beliefs and preferences will have on moving and handling.
Okay.
You know, if someone believes that they're going to fall out of a sling and they refuse point blank to go in a hoist, what does it mean for you?
Mhm.
It means you're phoning them at the office, you're saying, this woman's refusing to move, but she needs to get on the commode. Can you send someone here ASAP? You know, something drastic needs to be done. Conflicts that arise, risk assessment. So the risk assessment says, I'm not allowed to move her, okay, unless it's 2 to 1, but she's just thrown the other carer out of her house because she's too disliked her.
Yeah.
Okay. So I've had to then phone the office, and the service users sitting there saying, but I want to go up now, like now. Well, I'm sorry, you're going to have to wait. It's about you showing that you've used your common sense. You're not saying, oh, I'll just help you get up. You know, I know there's risk assessments. I know I've got to stick to them. It's health and safety. That's what that's about. Again, your codes of practice, and what it says about your responsibility. You know, I've got to communicate with the service user. I've got to make sure they're fully involved. Don't I want them getting challenged and they're halfway through the air in their hoist?
Yeah.
You know, don't I want any challenging behaviour or physical activity? They could topple over. They could take the whole hoist with them. Risk of infection, that'll come under your one for Unit 2.
Right.
So once you've done these, we'll put 10 days between your second one and this one for health and safety, because I'll be able to email you say this covered all this.
Right. Okay.
Because your health and safety and moving your hands are quite similar.
Right.
But you know, it's all about safety, working intimately, your hygiene. A lot of that I'll be able to cross-reference across for you. So we'll put moving and handling, we'll see for let's say the 10th of July, and that way I'll put wait for to get back to you.
Okay.
Right, so then that's that unit basically done. Then all you have left is Unit 23, develop your knowledge practice. You've done the work for that, so that's not a problem. And Unit 24, I do believe you've done your bit about assist for protection. Yeah, you've done that as well. So basically, Jeanette, this is all you have to do, and then you're done.
Thanks. Just putting what I know in writing.
Put in what you know. Put in what you know on paper, basically. You know. So if I say the 10th, wait for me to get back to you. We'll say the 10th, and if I put what day's best for you to meet?
Well, it's the summer holidays as well.
Yeah.
I don't have childcare. Any day, really. Any day. It has to be, as long as it's after work. I finish work at 1ish. So
it's easier for you to come straight from work to here.
Yeah, because I don't want you going all the way along, because I'm the other side of Dunfermline, so that's like ages away for you. Eh?
So are you on the way down to Glasgow, or?
Yeah.
Right.
Aye.
Okay. Okay. So if I say Thursday the 18th.
Yeah. To have all that done for Thursday the 18th.
No,
and
we'll
email.
just meet again.
Right. That's fine.
Okay. July. 1:30. Jeanette. Office. Right. Glenrothes. And we'll get you finished for the end of July.
Okay.
You'll be completely finished. Once you start writing, you will find it comes very, very easily.
Okay.
You'll just keep flowing. Loads of folk have said to me across all the years I've done this job, they find starting very difficult. So if you're sitting there looking at a blank screen, feel free to phone me up. I'm really not sure to start this. What bit are you doing? And I'll just give you a couple of sentences, and you'll be off. Okay. It looks really daunting, but it's not, because you have these in front of you. You're ticking off. You're writing.
I know when I was writing that one, I was like, God, I think I'm waffling now. Because I felt like I was going on for ages.
Whereas the knowledge, you're just doing paragraphs,
Uh-huh.
and you're making sure your legislation's on there, so it's a lot easier than your whole story about, I went in to see Jeannie, I checked her care plan, I washed my hands, I did this, I made sure she was alright, I asked if she wanted to eat. You're not doing that nitty gritty the same, you're just doing,
Right, okay.
this is what it says, what's the legislation, how do I provide equality, this is what I do,
Right, okay.
this is the laws that I'm following, if I don't do this, I'm sacked. basically.
Mhm.
It's quite
Right. Okay.
straightforward. Paragraphs if they're easier for you, big long stories if that's easier, whatever you find more comfortable doing.
Okay.
Because it's your reward. Right. Have you got any questions?
No, I think I'll be fine. I think, like you say, once you get started, it'll be fine.
If you kind of get an email to send it to me, give me a text with your email address, and I will email you, so you can just reply to it.
Okay.
Because in the beginning there was a lot of the lasses saying to me, it's not accepting, it's just bringing back at me. We've changed from GHB training to Learn Direct, and I think there's some issues going on with our emails just now, so some folks aren't coming through.
Right, okay.
They do feel that they've been ironed out. However, if you've problems, just give me a text.
And
This is my email address. Right. Can you email me so I can reply? So I will go and copy this.
Okay.
Is there anything else you want to?
No.
Sure?
Yeah.
Do you feel you've learned anything from your SVQ already? I mean,
a lot of it's common sense stuff, eh? But there's a lot of people out there that don't have common sense, so I'm quite a practical person, so yeah. It's like my problem is putting it on words. It's like they act this and act that, but once I get flowing, it'll be fine.
Once you get into it, I think what I always say to people is, when you're typing, try to think to yourself, right, I do this, but why do I do it? You know, like your wee bit about the ambulance people. Why do I say the ambulance men? Listen, she's quite capable of talking to you. Can you make sure that you include her in what you're trying to say?
Talk over them instead of to them, eh?
And then think to yourself, right, I've told her this is what I do, but why do I do it? The quality act. Handbook, your triple SC, everything's in there. So, Ken, have a wee look. I think once you start writing, it comes quite freely. As long as you get yourself in this routine of, I wash my hands, I put on these gloves and apron, why do I do this? Oh, there's a law, Health and Safety at Work Act, Food Safety Act. You know, and that's when you'll start to get into that manner of thinking.
Okay.
Perfect. I will use this and upload it onto your file. It's your numeracy pack, that's great. Do you want these? These are your unit specs.
I've got them. Yeah, I'm sure that's what I've all got. And
I'll give you your markings away here.
Okay.
Because I've got wee notes on them for you. As you can see, it tells you the unit title.
Okay.
Excuse the paper, they're on recycled paper. As you can see, I just refuse to waste paper in this day and age. So it's just 1, 2, 3, 3 stars. That's just the knowledge.
Okay.
There you go. I will go and copy your assessment plan. Now, you sure you're alright with all of that, right?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Quite happy with it?
Yeah, if it's not, you'll tell me. Once I had it in, it'll be fine.
Well, what I've been saying to folk is, you know, if you're finding it, you're looking at it thinking, oh, I don't think this is right, I don't think this is right, email it across to me and say to me, you know, actually I don't think this is right. And I'll give you feedback on it.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't have to be complete. But if you've done a couple of paragraphs, you're thinking, oh, I think I'm going down the wrong road here.
Yeah, and then just send it to you and then you can tell me.
Feel free, send it across to me, and you know, I'll be able to get back to you and say to you, no, you're doing great, just you know, keep going and remember to add this and remember to add this. Because there is a lot of folk, you know, as you're saying, the written stuff is really difficult for a lot of people because we do practical hands-on hearing. You know, we're not in offices.
It's like that numeracy thing. It's like there's some questions in that. It's like, what does that have to do with my job?
I must admit, the thing, I'll explain to you why they use that. Your modern apprenticeship, that's what you get. You don't just get an SVQ, you get a modern apprenticeship.
Right.
So, SDS, or Skills Development Scotland, we funded your award for you. So what they said is, we will give you all this funding for all these people to do their health and social care award, but they need to do MAs, modern apprenticeships. So you need to do what we call core skills. ICT, numeracy, and working with others. It's a bit like communication. So in there you've got your numeracy. Now, how they look at it is, I'm going to give you an SVQ at the end of July. See, you're finished, that's you, you're done, you've done all the work, blah, 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 well done. You could leave Care Watch and go away and work for, say, 4 seasons as a support worker in a supported living instead of domiciliary care. Which then means you become a key worker for maybe a person with learning disabilities. You're then responsible for their finances, for picking their holidays. So that's why they say, people need to be at a certain level of competency with their numeracy, with their IT skills, And I must admit, half the folk I've came across in all my years in the sector, in supported living, in residential care, laptop, well, I'm not touching that, I don't get it switch on.
I hate technical stuff.
I thought you had your SPQ. I do, but still, no, I'm not touching that. They would rather go to the travel agents with their services or to book their holiday and do it in a personal manner rather than impersonal online. So
I must admit, I'd rather go in a place myself, but that's because
it's
how I am.
it's just different, everyone's like completely different. But that's it. I will go and photocopy this. I'll be back in 2 seconds. Right, here's your copy.
Okay.
It's got your dates on it for you, but please call me. Here's my email address. And we'll meet again on the 18th.
Right, okay.
Okay.
That's cool.
Thank you very much for your time.
Alright.
Please feel free to phone if you need some support, okay?
Okay, I will do.
Thank you.
Thank you for that. Take care.
Thank you.